Good morning. My name is Mike Marolt. I am a ski mountaineer. I was inducted into the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame in 2017. And since then, I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out how I had success and if I could possibly share that. And I came across a book from a friend of mine, Mark Pattison, and the book is just outstanding. And I think that for me personally, the reason why the book resonated so much is it came after I had just read another book by a famous theologian called Thomas Morton. And he wrote a book, No Man is an Island. And I think relating what I learned in that book, success is impossible unless you realize that you are a human being and that you need to operate your life with an operation that takes into consideration that nobody is alone. And I think relating it to finding your summit, one of the things that struck me about the book that was really interesting is that at a very young age, Mark was exposed to this concept called the pyramid of success. And basically, what the pyramid of success is a process that allows a person to master various levels of activities that you need to concentrate on and make habits in order to achieve ultimate success. But as I read the book, and as I read the book twice, it became very clear Mark is very explicit in saying that this is a process. Life is a process. And relating it back to the book, No Man is an Island, I think when I read between the lines of Mark's life and the difficulties that he had and how he overcame those difficulties, it became very clear that this process that he mastered had almost a guaranteed path towards success, even when success was not obvious. And I think the reason for that is that as I read his story, it became evident that while Mark was going through the process of his life, the process that he had mastered through the pyramid of success, it became obvious to me what success really is. And success is not just a personal emotion. Success is how your actions relate to the people around you. He used the process to make himself better. Well, why is that important? That's important because it made his team better. He used the process in his business ventures to generate success, not just for himself, but for his business partners, for the people that ran his businesses. And it became evident that it also became a critical source of enjoyment and pleasure for the people who were the recipients of why he was in business. Relating it to something else, his climbing career, it became evident to me when I heard the stories of how important his teammates were and how important people that he met that he didn't even know, how closely and how quickly he became friends and formed bonds with the people that he was climbing with. And he makes it very obvious that you can't climb those high peaks alone. And so the book really resonated with me. It gives you kind of a recipe card of what he did to find success. But I think the cool thing about the book is that the story is just remarkable. I mean, we've got a NFL athlete that goes on to climb the 7 summits. And if you look at the arc of that book, it really is proof that the pyramid of success is real, that life is a process. And really it boils down to what my climbing partner says all the time when asked, what's the most important thing you've learned in your climbing career? He said, I've learned to do the right thing the right way for the right reasons. So I highly recommend Finding Your Summit by Mark. He's a remarkable guy. He's a super friendly guy, and he's just now at a stage in his life where he wants to help people. And he's come up with a medium, this book, that if you read it, and you read it not just for the remarkable story, but if you read it and try to really put yourself in his head to figure out what motivated him to do what he did, I think that you can find the book as a source of enjoyment, but also a roadmap for your own life to overcome difficulties and ultimately to find success, and in the process make your life something that captures not only success but peace of mind, peace in general, and just well-being. So Mark Pattison, thank you so much for writing the book, and I highly recommend it.